Sorry, I had to have a quick pause there because I needed a drink. Oh, and I'm just doing the wrong thing with the control on my wheelchair. No, that wasn't the right thing either. Helps if I've not got the light shining on it so I can see what I'm doing. That's better. There we go. Back on the road again. You can see on the side of the road here all the stuff that they've hauled out of the old carnations, and an awful lot more new ones growing in there. And my mum loves carnations too, so this is definitely the part of the world she should live, apart from the fact that she does not like sunshine. Even on an overcast day, she tends to hide away from the sun. Sorry, that was me playing with the cover on the tablet. I'm having sore fingers trying to hold it. Oh, the joys of being a camera woman, hey. So, there was something hanging up in one of the tunnels I just looked at, which initially looked like some socks. But thinking about it, it's probably rabbits that are hanging. Because there's quite a lot of rabbits around here, and they eat rabbit. We had paella the other night, which had chicken and rabbit in it, and it was very tasty. There was also a programme on the television while we were having our dinner about bullfighting, and there is a bullfight in Caravaca. I think it's the 11th of June, something like that, or is it that weekend anyway. And I was wondering about going because I've never seen a bullfight. I've never actually seen much of it at all. Having watched the programme on the television the other night, I don't want to go to a bullfight. And also, as Keith pointed out, it would be rather difficult for me to go in a wheelchair because it's a circular place and you would never find anywhere to sit because there's a fairly high wall to protect the people from the bull. Oh well, so that's something I ain't going to do, but I'm getting used to the fact that there's things I can't do, you know. More carnations. So. And the asparagus is really sort of grown a bit now. Looks somewhat different than the asparagus tips that you buy in the shop. It was like that initially, but now it's just kept growing. So I don't know if they get seed from that or what actually happens, or if they just left it and they'll feed the stuff to the goats, because that's where most of the waste crop, like the stuff out from the carnations, it goes to livestock, the horses, the goats, the chickens if they'll eat it, you know. So, because I was quite surprised when I went to see the horse that I first met, and it was eating carnation cuttings, and I'm thinking, surely that's not what it eats, but it was quite happy with it, you know. There was me thinking it might not even want my carrot. I think the olive tree is quite old, looking at the size of its trunk. They do say that they become very, very large and they grow for hundreds of years. So I think that one's quite an old one. And Fehine itself is actually pre-Roman. It was taken over by the Muslims at one point. Obviously it would be the Moors then. And the hospital that Tom was in was built something like the 16th century. So it was not awfully accessible with a wheelchair, but we managed. Thankfully, with help I can do a couple of steps, but you know. And they were having, or the builders were in, and they were there 10 hours a day. They would have 2 hours off in the afternoon, but they were working all day, every day. They used to have Sunday off, so it was a 6-day week, you know. And the noise was horrendous sometimes. But it didn't seem to bother Tom too much at all, thankfully. I think because of his hearing being so bad, he used to just sort of like switch off or taking his hearing aids out, you know. And I can't say I blame him. I would have too. But never mind. So we're nearly back to the villa, and we're about 50 yards away from the turn right, where we go down through the apricot trees, which we still haven't really figured out how we tell people where we actually live. Our friends, David and Elaine, with the collie Floss, who we dog sat for last week, that was brilliant. They have been to us 2 times now, and still haven't quite found us easily, but never mind. So, oh, and our landlord has lost one of his dogs. The little youngest one, whose name is Negra, although he was teasing us to begin with and saying her name was Blanca, you know, because she's a black thing. He thinks she's run off with a boy dog because she was there one night and just disappeared. So I wondered why I saw Mercedes, the landlady, out the other day, walking with the other 2 dogs, and I couldn't figure out why it was only 2, and one of them was on a lead, and I'd never seen any of the dogs on a lead before. So now I have to go slowly again because we have one of those steep hills, and then we have the goats, and see how they're doing. Oh, there is very often, I think there's about maybe 3 or 4 boy goats, and I think this is actually like a breeding pen where, you know, they go and they produce their babies, and so. But one of the boy ones is very often stewed on top of the food in the rack, like I'm the king of the castle. So I expect he is top dog, you know, so. Right, I'm going to switch off now because that's the villa and the top of our bus in front, and it's a bit difficult to manoeuvre down this bit. See you again, folks. Bye.